is the Team ClearCoat podcast. We're two friends finally doing something about our obsession with cars.
We're probably not doing it well, but it should be fun, and we might actually learn something along the way. I'm Dave.
And I'm Ian, and this is our show.
Ian.
Hello, Dave.
Dave.
I'm Ian.
Team ClearCoat podcast.
Usually about cars. We're going to start by podcasting about podcasting for just one very quick second.
Yeah. 1 hot minute, if you will.
Yes.
If you were a red hot chili pepper. Okay.
No.
Yep.
So next week's episode,
Yes.
if you're a regular iTunes listener, this would be a good time to check out the YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
Because we had a guest in studio. We've already recorded it. It turned out great. Ted
Even for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely for us. But it turned out great. Full stop. Not just for us.
Right.
No qualification needed.
Well, it largely had to do with the guest, a gentleman named Ted Parks.
Yes, who is the, as I introduced him, founder, CEO, chief mechanic, and I believe quality assurance officer for Varsity Roadsters here in Denver. So he built his own car.
Yes.
And actually did the damn thing. And he was a really cool person to talk to.
Amazing. Wonderful to talk to. We loved having him on the show. Ted, you're welcome back anytime.
And he brought his own PowerPoint, which was actually a really nice way to do the show.
Should we invite anybody else on, we might ask for PowerPoints in advance.
Yeah, it actually worked out really, really well. So, like I said, if you're a regular iTunes listener, next week on the 19th, Friday the 19th, maybe check out the YouTube.
Definitely.
version.
We're going to have lots of pictures about his artistic influences, the cars, the car itself, all that. And you get to see our dumb faces. These two right here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So save the worst for last there on that list. Good job.
You just take Sharpie and mark over your computer screen where our faces normally show up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Tape some cardboard up there or go with a more permanent solution.
I like the Sharpie idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
So,
now let's move on to other things that don't have to do with us by talking about us. We both did separately.
Yes.
Some go-kart racing.
Since we have an open karting relationship,
We do.
we don't always have to be joined at the hip to go karting.
And in fact, we can go with other people. So we have what I would call like a polycart.
It is certainly a polycart relationship.
Polycart relationship.
Yeah. Yep. That definitely. So would you like to describe your karting adventure first?
Well, you did yours first. You did yours
okay.
on Thursday, and I did mine on Friday.
Sure.
So you went to the outdoor place on Thursday.
Yep, for the Thursday Night Racing League.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I had a very good time.
Did they split the classes into weight classes again?
It was all one. So with the daylight hours shrinking, they're trying to get everything moving along as fast as possible. The only thing that they could split were the warm-up heats.
Okay.
And so they basically just did everybody who showed up early, of which I was, but wasn't in that heat. We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
So they did everybody that was early in a warm-up heat, and then everybody else. So and then the race. So I was there. I was just kind of like, I don't know. I wasn't quite in the right headspace. Got a lot of stuff going on my mind in the past couple weeks. Know, not doing like just a lot of stuff. Right. And it's a tough time of year for a lot of people and me as well. So I just kind of needed to shake some things up. Right. So I just did a rental session before the race.
Yeah.
And actually, I think I'm going to try to do that for every race that I do from now on.
Yeah.
Because that just kind of gets the cobwebs out. It gets you moving in the right direction, and it kind of gets you over those pre-race jitters of like thinking about the cart and like, oh, I haven't done this for a couple weeks and stuff like that. So a warm-up rental session was awesome. The reason I didn't go out in the warm-up heat that was first was because I was just finishing my rental session and they put the race heat out. Right. So I just stuck around and then went out for that next warm-up. And the warm-up was interesting. I got third place in the warm-up.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's good.
Which is hilarious because it did not start out well. Our buddy Greg Welsh was behind me during the first few laps. Not few laps, first 4 seconds of the race, and I spun out and went off the track, and he was behind me the entire time, and then obviously blew straight past me.
Did he laugh at you afterwards?
You just assume that laughter's implied, right? Yeah.
You don't go seek it out.
No,
you know it's there.
You just know it's there.
You don't need verification. I get that.
Exactly. But I had a clapped out cart for the first race. So I drew 8th out of 18 people, and I finished 9th.
Okay.
So a lot of defending.
Yeah.
Not to the degree like what we'll talk about with you, but some defensive driving and changing a few positions. And I have to say, like, we'll get to that in a second. So second heat, much better cart. Finish. I started 10th, I guess, because if I was 8th and out of 18, so whatever that is, how math works, you guys can figure that out. I finished 7th, actually.
That's awesome.
And I even jumped 2 places in 1 lap.
That's great.
Thanks, man. And I have to say, I am very much emboldened by the coaching that you've given me about cart placement.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So what are you doing differently?
Well, I'm not being overly nice.
Okay.
Like there was one area where and actually, like, we can draw it out now on the screen, Ian.
Oh, wow, it's a brave new world.
Yeah.
This is a new experiment.
It is. Okay.
That we're trying.
Yeah, 2 cams of drawing. Okay,
Dave
so
has figured out how to draw live on screen.
I have. Okay.
Oh, wow, it's happening.
So here's hairpin, right?
Mm-hmm. We're already drawing penises.
So there was a cart on the outside, right?
Uh-huh.
And then here comes my dumb ginger ass, right?
Yeah.
On the inside, and I did not dive bomb. I had a wheel in before even approaching the turn. And actually, as the person was braking, they were kind of sliding over towards the apex here.
Yeah.
And so basically, I took the super inside line.
Yep.
I was right here, and I just slowed way down.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, put the cart in park and just walked around the slow apex on the inside, and then fired myself out.
Yeah.
And before, what I would have done is I would have braked early to allow that person to get to the apex.
Yeah.
And then I would have tried to pass them somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Tried and probably failed.
Yeah.
But what I should have been doing is what you were telling me. Like, I'm not dive bombing. I'm there well in advance.
Yeah, if you're alongside before you get to the braking zone, that's ideal. That's perfect.
Right.
Because like I told you the other day, like how I think about that is you're side by side, and if you have the inside line, you're now braking for 2.
Right.
Because you completely have say-so over how fast that person goes around that corner.
Exactly. You are the one calling the shots at that point.
Right. So like the perfect example for that would be the RX-7 that we drove at High Plains.
Yes.
It took me a long time to get comfortable in traffic with that car, but the thing that I figured out with that car, because it was such a like point and shoot. You know, it was on just garbage tires, but it was really fast in a straight line, was that I would do that, especially into turn 4, the fast corner.
Yep.
So you come up alongside, and then you just slow everyone way down to where you can get around the corner.
Right.
Because, they don't want you to understeer into them.
Exactly.
They're... And also their line is now compromised.
Right.
Your line is also compromised.
Right.
So everybody knows that everyone's got to go slow.
Right.
And you're in charge.
Exactly.
You got the line.
And the rule is the only reason I know about this is from bike like velodrome racing is hold your line.
Yep.
Right. You hold your line. So like if I was on the inside here, and I'm staying inside, that's good, right?
Yes.
If I was to like take inside and then come out like this wide, where this other person would be with me here, that's just a dick move.
Well, there's dick move, and then there's
dick move
being assertive.
Right.
So if you turn into them,
okay,
that's a dick move.
But if I'm just coming out of the apex,
and if you're ahead, if you're ahead,
right,
absolutely
go wide.
That is your line now.
Oh, okay.
That's your corner.
Well,
you
then
do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, then next week may be different as well. Maybe I'll be 6th.
And maybe, I don't know, maybe other people will disagree with me on that. But honestly, I think that, and I'm definitely guilty of this, especially not so much in karting, but in endurance racing,
right?
Where where being nice is actually like less predictable for the other drivers.
Yes, and a detriment to those around you.
Yeah, and actually like will spook people because they don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Even though you think you're being nice.
Right.
So just stick to your line and do the thing that you think you need to do.
Right.
Don't be a dick.
Right. Don't dive bomb. Don't rush somebody's braking.
But yeah, if you're already alongside and they see you before you get to the braking zone,
right.
Don't ever feel guilty about that.
Yeah.
You're great.
I appreciate that because that really did change the race for me.
Yeah.
It really did.
Well, and that's also a corner that people know that you pass on.
Absolutely.
That's not going to surprise anyone.
Right. And it's like, and you have a run up to it. There is a definitive full throttle for a while. Now we're braking. Now we're turning zone.
And it's really the only like no shit braking zone on the whole track.
Yep. Absolutely.
Really.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you're not surprising anyone. That's a perfect move. Well,
thanks, man.
What you should do.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Good work.
Yeah. So it was good. It was good. Yeah. Great time. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So how about your race, Ian?
So I could not make that Thursday race,
right?
Because I had children things to do,
right?
But Unser also at the indoor location has a Friday night endurance series where they do a 30-minute endurance race.
Yeah.
So it's a 5-minute qualifier and then a 30-minute endurance race.
Right. How'd the qualifier go, Ian?
So I also did a
rental sesh
before.
Nice,
and I had Nico with me.
Okay.
So Nico and Lauren hung out with him. But Nico, I have to say this first, lost his mind because I gave him like headphones because last time it was a little too loud for him.
Yeah.
And he had his headphones on and was just standing on the table like in the little viewing area and was announcing like doing color commentary for the race like, and there goes Ian and we're just gonna pass him and you gotta fight to win, and he was doing like he actually said that.
Nice.
It was pretty funny.
All of the stuff he's picked up from watching F1.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was hilarious.
Okay. Nice.
But anyway, so I did the rental session, and got a couple of clean laps in. There was some traffic or whatever, but it was nice to just
shake it out, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's been a long time since I've done a competitive race there.
Right.
At the north location.
Yeah.
So I was pretty nervous.
Yeah. There are far fewer opportunities for passing on such a tight little course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were 8 people.
Oh, okay. That's a good amount for that.
Yeah, I think the max is 10.
Yeah.
So there was 8 or 9 people, 8 people, I think.
Okay.
So in the qualifier, I think there was probably like 3 people who had never been there before, but they were all pretty quick.
Okay.
I don't think anyone was below like a 32.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know?
No 50-second laps.
No. Jesus. So I ended up fighting through traffic and got like 3 clean laps in.
Okay.
And you could see it on my lap times, like, because I could just I just drop a
plateau
full seconds.
A big step down.
And then you could see the last 2 laps I caught people because then I lost 2 seconds.
Sure.
For the last 2 laps. So I got like 3 laps in and ended up qualifying first.
Okay. What was your qualifying time? You remember?
A 30.4.
Nice, man. Nice.
So not bad.
Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah, not my fastest time, but not bad at all.
Yeah.
And then in the race, I had just a dog shit cart.
Okay.
It was, I think the tires were just gone because it understeered like no kart I've ever had before.
Okay.
And I would try to fix it with a lift or like a little overlapping brake or whatever, and it would just snap to oversteer.
Whoa, okay.
So I managed to coax a 30.7 out of that cart.
That's still really good for a garbage cart.
But I didn't have many in the 30s.
Sure.
And it actually got worse over the course of the race where, the flag stand corner, I I nearly hit the outside wall there.
Oh, wow.
Because I was understeering so badly.
Holy cow.
Which is like, that doesn't happen there.
Right.
You know,
yeah,
like, and
it's so wide.
And that's a line that I usually have really well. And I was trying everything.
Okay.
But so that also meant that the guy behind me, who was also pretty quick, there was behind us, it was just chaos. Like we just kept seeing wrecks. And full course. There was a full course yellow at one point. And
excuse me, did we mention that you qualified first?
I went right past it.
Why? You qualified first.
Yeah, it was
this
cool.
is important to set the stage for what's happening, Ian.
I know, it was cool.
Drama, narrative.
I was very excited to qualify first because I've never done that before.
And you didn't want to bring it up on your own podcast.
No, have we met?
So what you were saying, you and the gentleman behind you.
Yeah, so he was on
the
me.
The second fastest person.
Right. So he had a 30.5 or 6 or 7.
Okay.
Something.
A no shit time.
Yeah, mid 30 point something. And it was a cooler night, so no one was going to have a absurdly fast time.
Right.
So he had gotten down to like mid 30s, and so he qualified behind me. But then he had a much better kart than I did in the race.
Okay.
And it was a legit fast dude. So he was just on me.
Right.
From I think I had pulled a little gap on him at the very beginning, but then his tires came in and he was just on me.
Sure.
And I defended with him like on my bumper for like 20 laps. It was crazy.
That's insane. And so at any point, did you get to a point where you were lapping other traffic?
Yeah.
And so you were cutting through other traffic, still defending.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's normally when somebody's going to be able to make a move.
Yeah, I know. And it got close a couple of times. And sometimes I was able to use the traffic to my advantage. And like kind of pick my spot. And so I would get a better getaway than him. And that sort of stuff. But there was definitely parts on the track where he was just faster than me. And there was nothing I could do about it.
Right.
Like the hairpin, you know, I just had to make my cart so wide. You know, the slowdown section, you know what I'm talking about? The back and forth, the chicane. It was just catastrophic understeer through there. Like I would turn the wheel and just nothing would happen. Because that's usually my line through there.
Right.
And I tried everything. I tried braking beforehand. It was just a nightmare.
Wow.
So I ended up just settling on understeer like crazy into there and just use that to burn off all my speed and just park right in the middle of the track.
Okay.
And so he bumped me a couple times, but I knew he was going to happen.
Exactly. You kind of plan for that.
And so eventually he got me because I was trying to figure out how to make my cart faster.
Right.
And I screwed up one of the hairpins.
Okay.
The hairpin after the slowdown.
Yeah.
Where it's leading into the fastest part of the track, which is really not a good place to experiment. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. But I experimented and I screwed it up, and he got on the inside of me, and I stuck it out all the way around the outside.
Okay.
We made a bunch of contact, and he ended up getting past me.
Oh, right. But you made him freaking work for it.
Yeah. And I apologized to him afterwards, but I was like, that's all I could do.
Right.
There was nothing else I could do.
I think anybody that shows up and can turn out those kinds of times is fully aware of what's going on, because it's that thing. Like if the shoe was on the other foot, they would be doing the exact same thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
And I wouldn't, begrudge. I would be frustrated, but I wouldn't be angry with them.
Right. But they're in front of you.
Yeah. And he ended up pulling out like a 29.9, I think. I think it was 29.9. So he was obviously quick.
Yeah. Is this somebody you've raced with before?
No, I didn't recognize his name or anything.
Shit, there's more people that are faster than us out there.
Yeah, he was quick. But we ended up finishing on the same lap, and we were 16 seconds apart. So even though his cart was, and he was so much faster than me.
Yeah.
We were only 16 seconds apart from each other.
That's awesome.
So I don't know if he had a harder time with traffic or what, but he wasn't that far up the road from me.
Dude, really good job.
Yeah, it was fun. I ended up finishing second. I don't know how.
I wouldn't complain about that.
I had the 6th fastest time.
Nice.
Of anyone in the race.
But that's an important statistic. You had the 6th fastest time, and your defense and your driving was on point to the point that you could finish second.
I was happy about it. Yeah, I was super excited about that.
That's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I didn't make any friends.
No, but if the shoe was on the other foot, they'd do the same thing, man. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like when we were when I inserted myself into the little battle you were having with the slower person.
Yeah.
I felt bad about it until I asked you, would you have done the same thing? And you were like, oh yeah.
Of course I would have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, that's fantastic, man. You did great, man. You're doing Team Clearcoat proud, Ian. Yeah.
Speaking of which,
we
both played Formula Effington 1 Fantasy whatever this week.
I guess I did. I went to a website and clicked on some stuff for a little bit.
Yeah,
so I don't really know what any of it does.
I was, as always, somewhat invested in it. And you guessed and ended up winning the league this week.
I handily beat you.
Did you?
Yeah.
Were you? I can't remember how far ahead of you were.
I think maybe you had like a 160 something. I had a 170 something.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got first and second.
Yeah.
And that has never happened in any finishing order.
Yeah.
In any sort of like real competition.
Oh, we've done that at the kart track all the time. For
right, but with like civilian heats.
Yeah.
Right? Like never in like a race.
Right. True.
You know?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So this is
I'll be your shake and bake. Yeah. Yeah.
It's an exciting. Well, no, I'm your shake and bake. I finished second.
Oh. Right? Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I was thinking about in karting where you would just be first.
Oh well, no. Yeah. This is your time to shine, my man. Come on.
No, there's absolutely no glory in it because it's easy to just click on things and guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was your strategy this week?
Click on things and guess.
You research Suzuka and the weather patterns.
Absolutely. I was taking barometric pressure changes into account, the historical data. I actually sent it off to Microsoft Power BI and did some DeepMind analytics on it. Yeah.
I will say that I have gone back in like previous weeks and for this fantasy F1 thing. I've gone back and like looked at individuals' performances at that track and for those weather conditions and everything like that. I always do way worse.
Yeah.
Whenever I do that.
I guessed and won.
Yeah, I know it's ridiculous.
I think there's just too many variables.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, there is.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think because it's like the most predictable couple of seasons ever in Formula One, but it's still very hard to do.
Maybe that's how I'm winning. It's just because I keep guessing the same thing.
It could be.
Can you imagine if I've been doing this from the beginning? Like actually making no shit picks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling you.
I'm going to win the league next season.
I hope you do. I think it'd be really funny. But I do want to talk about the race itself. So congratulations for winning.
You as well.
Yeah, good job. Well done, sir.
Good job. Yeah. Sportsman. God, I took a shower before you came over. My hair looks horrible.
Yeah.
Ian?
Yeah.
I'm just fixing my hair. Okay.
You good now? All right. Anyway, so the fantasy F1 thing aside, I do want to talk about the race itself. Because first of all, I just want to say Suzuka is like, I love that track.
Oh, it's a fantastic track. I played it in Gran Turismo a whole bunch.
Me too.
Yeah.
And it's just cool, and it's a historic track. But the race itself was very interesting. It was a really good race, which was kind of a surprise because it was supposed to be it's supposed to be one of those tracks where it's hard to overtake and you can't follow people.
It is a more narrow technical track, yeah.
Right, and it's a lot of high speed downforce type corners where you can't follow other cars.
Right.
But there was a ton of overtaking and a ton of craziness all throughout the race. But the one thing that I wanted to talk about with you,
with me,
because you don't care about any of this,
was
the incident between Verstappen and Vettel. So to set the stage for this, what happened was Vettel, first of all, through his own fuck-ups and Ferrari's continuing fuck-ups, qualified like 8th or 9th, and I can't remember where he was with grid penalties because that shuffled it. But he started either 8th or 9th, way out of position for where he was supposed to be.
Right.
Verstappen was further up the road and had tussled with the old Kimmy
Right.
At a chicane and had gotten a 5-second penalty
right.
for driving into Raikkonen, which he absolutely did, and it was totally his fault. He re-entered the track in a really unsafe way and crashed into Kimi, but they both kind of continued on. So Verstappen had a 5-second penalty.
Right.
Vettel ends up passing Raikkonen and is on and then catches Verstappen.
Right.
And at this point, they're going to spoon curve, which is a really fast left-hander with a really short braking zone.
Yeah.
But it's a really fast corner, and there's really only kind of one line through there.
Right.
And it's not someplace where you normally see people overtaking.
Right.
And Vettel makes a move, and I want to talk about it in the context of what you were asking about, what you've been talking about with the karting stuff.
Right,
and
right.
everything.
Like, is this a dick move or not?
Right.
Right, right. Let's see if we can play it. I have something pulled up on the web. Do you want to see if we can play it here?
Sure.
Yeah? Or are you worried it's going to spoil too much?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Well, I think.
Do you want me to draw out what happened?
No, we before the show we watched the multiple without commentary, multiple camera angles of the incident.
Yes.
And I'm curious to know what your reaction to it was.
So, Verstappen had the 5-second penalty.
Mm-hmm.
He saw Vettel coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he probably should have just let him over because, in a way, Vettel was already past him, right?
Okay.
And Vettel was not necessarily working on passing him. He was working on passing everybody else in front of him.
Okay.
Right? Gaining ground on them. I don't know if he...
why would Verstappen help him with that?
Right. I don't think he should have let him over, but from where they were, it looked like it... Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to call because Verstappen didn't leave enough room for Vettel. Like, the commentators on some of the other ones that we watched said that he did, and he said he did, but he didn't. There was not enough room for Vettel, right? And Vettel was on the inside of him when all of this started, right? Mm-hmm. And it seemed like he came over a little bit. Not like out of spite or anything, like he didn't pivot the wheel at him, but it just seemed like he wasn't. If I was in his position, I probably would have left a touch more room through that hairpin.
Okay.
Yeah, what about you?
So I think it's completely Vettel's fault.
Okay.
I don't think Verstappen has any obligation to help Vettel in his race just because he has a penalty. And Vettel, on the other hand, should have known that Verstappen had that penalty.
Right.
And also that he was going to have another opportunity to pass him. Because the other thing is that, that's sort of like towards the end of the lap, and the pit straight, the long pit straight.
That's where you serve the penalty,
that's
right?
That's a DRS zone.
Okay.
So Vettel was going to fly by him then anyway.
Okay.
So there was really no reason to do it, to have to get it done there.
At that exact point.
Right.
Okay.
And again, even if he wasn't going to get it done that lap, he knew that Verstappen had a penalty.
Right.
He was effectively already behind him.
Where is the penalty served? Where does that 5 seconds come off?
So it's either done at the pit stop,
so
they have to be stationary for 5 seconds, and then no work can be done on the car.
Right, right.
Or it's just added on to your time at the end.
Okay.
And typically people just do it in the pit stop.
Right, right. Were there any pit stops after this?
Yeah. Yeah, this was early in the race.
Oh,
this was really early in the race. And so and as a result of the crash, Vettel dropped back to 19th.
Okay.
So he was nearly last.
Right.
Or he was last at that point because I think somebody had already retired.
Okay.
So yeah, it was just I don't know. He wasn't in front.
Right.
He was behind. His front wheel was behind Verstappen's front wheels.
Okay.
And by the time they were at the braking zone,
Verstappen's rear wheels.
I'm saying Verstappen's front wheels were in front of Vettel's.
Yes, yeah.
And so he was alongside, but that he wasn't on a line. He wasn't on a real line. And it wasn't a real braking zone like your hairpin.
Right.
So it's a fast corner. So there's not like it's not like a long braking zone where you're gonna like
Right. Where it's like it's clear to see what's happening at that point.
Right. So it was a lunge from way back and into a corner that only had one line. And I think that Verstappen did leave him room because if you really watch the onboard, I think what happened was he got onto the curb, which nobody is ever on the curb at that point in the corner because it was a really shallow line.
Yeah.
And he just lost grip and understeered into him.
Well, let's.
You want to rewatch
let's play it again. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh God, do we have an ad? Do we have to watch an ad? Jesus Christ.
Do you want me to send you the video? The YouTube video?
This might be the same thing. Let's see, skip ad. Okay. So to me, here we'll step through this here. So to me, right? Okay, so there's braking. He's on the inside, right? Like right here. He's on the inside, right? And Verstappen sees him, right? He should see him.
Yeah, I mean, he knew he was there.
Right.
He said later he knew he was there.
Right, because he probably would have come over faster if he didn't know he was there, right?
Yeah.
And so contact was made right here before Vettel. Is this before Vettel starts understeering?
I think he starts understeering the moment he hits that curb.
Okay.
Because again, the proper line through there is, see where there's that like double curbing on the inside? That's where you would make contact with the curb.
Okay.
Which is sort of the line that Verstappen's doing, but he's going to miss that apex anyway because he's trying to provide a little bit of room for him. So
he's like, well, if you're going to do this, don't be a dick about it.
I think what he was doing was saying, was doing the like, I'm going to let you cause an accident if you want to.
Okay.
But I'm going to make you decide to back out of it instead. Like, that's the choice that Verstappen's offering.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is its own sort of like really aggressive sort of thing to do.
It's yours to fuck up if you want it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Huh. Okay.
So what do you think about that sort of mentality too, of like being defensive but in a way that's like, you know, he's technically giving him room.
Right.
So he's clear on that point. But he's basically saying you can either back off or try this and cause an accident and it's going to be your fault.
I don't know if he gives him room. Like here, look at this. So look where his front tire is versus where Vettel's front tire is.
Yeah.
He distinctly does not have room there.
Right. But you could see Vettel backing off on the steering lock right before they touch because that's him correcting for trying to get back from understeer, right?
Yeah.
Because you straighten up the wheel. You see him like.
I mean, he's making micro adjustments, but he's not really going back too much.
No. I'm not saying he's like turning into him or anything.
Yeah. I don't know.
So you're more like. So what do you think the stewards did here?
I think that it's a bad decision by Vettel to try to pass there. I think that he shouldn't have done it. I don't know what the stewards do.
What would you do?
I don't know.
If you saw that on board and you were in charge and you had to hand out penalties, what would you do?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. What did they do?
They did nothing.
Okay.
They did nothing. They said it was a racing incident.
Okay.
And I'm not sure that that's entirely fair, especially since Verstappen got a penalty for something pretty similar earlier on. Okay. And I'm not a Verstappen fanboy by any stretch.
Right.
I think he's kind of a hothead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
They just let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. What would you have done?
I think
that's the more important question here.
Well, no, because you're starting to think about these things.
Well, no, but I think you're the one with more experience on these opinions.
Well, I mean,
and soliciting opinions of mine. So
yeah,
what would you have done?
I think that if it was just
you don't get off free.
If it was just this race, and I didn't have to worry about being consistent over the course of a season or whatever.
Okay,
I would say, well, Vettel got his punishment by going back to P19 and having to work his way back up through the field.
Okay.
But the flip side, the counter argument to that is they have to be consistent over the course of a whole season
as to how they're judging all of these things.
And I think it's clear that Vettel caused the accident.
Okay.
Because he was too far back.
Right.
If it had worked, great. But it didn't.
Right.
And it's clearly his fault. And he knows Verstappen's not going to, go right this way, sir.
Right.
It's never going to happen.
Right. So how would you penalize in that case?
I think I probably would have given him a 5 second penalty or a drive-through. Maybe a drive-through.
Okay. That's where they just they have to go through the pits at pit speed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think a drive-through would have been a good penalty for that.
Okay.
So not overly harsh.
Right.
But
especially since he was already back to P19.
Right.
If he had wound up right behind Verstappen after this, then I think it would have been a different story, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I had to take their outcomes out of it and just be I'm going to apply
right. Vanilla car 1, vanilla car 2,
and we don't know. We don't
right.
know where they end up because of this accident.
Right.
I think a drive-through or a 5 second penalty. Would be what I would give him.
Okay. I didn't think about looking at it as not taking the results of what happened not taking that out of it. Yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, because they have, and that's the thing that gets fans pissed off is well, what about this time when you didn't do it then?
The whatabouts are always there.
Right.
Yeah. What about?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just thought that would be interesting to look at because you're starting to think about kart positioning and what's an acceptable level of dickishness or assertiveness or however you want to put it.
Yeah, but I clearly don't know. I don't feel like I really know. Yeah.
I mean, I'm still learning all of it too, but I don't know. It's fun.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, the thing about it is that I don't want to put myself in a position where that could be an outcome. I don't really this whole thing makes me feel bad. I don't like it. I don't like the outcome. I don't like this yeah, I don't know. I enjoy racing, and this is why I specifically like the time trial based stuff the most, right? The quantity of incidents like this that happen where it's not only is there just an incident, but the consequences are pretty great, right? At the F1 level.
Oh,
right?
yeah. If this happened at the go-kart track, you guys would just bounce off each other.
Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah. It just,
and one of you go, ah!
Right. Yeah.
That'd be it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. I just I don't know. I'm not wired for this. It really does not compute.
I mean, my reaction to this wasn't oh, good, we get to dissect this. It was what are you doing? You've ruined a race. I would rather see them race cleanly and and do things that are, really good overtaking moves that are impressive and showcase driving skill.
Right.
That's more enjoyable.
Absolutely.
So I'm bringing this up because it was a frustrating and tragic thing that happened in the race.
Right.
So yeah, okay. I'm not using this as an example of how awesome is this sort of racing.
No, I didn't think so. I didn't know what vector we were taking with this.
Oh yeah. It was just more showing the degrees of going up the inside of someone.
Sure.
Because you had talked about doing that at the hairpin, and I wanted to show why what you were describing was good.
Right.
But this is bad, and
but not necessarily bad as in this person made a dick move or this person made a dick move. It's just kind of a weird set of circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's clear that it was one person's fault here, but I'm sympathetic to arguments of why it was faults on both sides sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone could be that's Verstappen's fault.
Right.
100% it's his fault. I get they both could have done better.
They both could have done better. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm a little less in that camp, but I understand that argument.
It's a metaphor for the podcast.
They both could have done better. But anyway, because if someone was a complete novice to all this stuff, and I showed someone a clip of you overtaking at the hairpin in the way that you did, and then this, they'd be that's the same thing.
Right.
Why are you upset about one of them and not the other?
Right.
But they're, I think it's an important distinction.
Okay. Yeah.
We can move on.
Yeah, no, well, when you say it's an important distinction, I don't get why it is why it is an important distinction. You lost me.
Oh, I don't know. Just that, just knowing when it's because it is a judgment call to know when you're being assertive and when you're being a dick. Right. And if you're coming from behind someone and they're already in the braking zone,
right? That's
clearly you're dive bombing and being a dick,
right? Absolutely.
And that's, I think, what happened here.
Okay.
But what you did is different, even though, like, if you described it to someone over the phone who had never seen racing, they'd be like, "Oh, you guys did the same thing." Right.
Okay.
That's
all. Okay. I get that. Yeah.
But it does bring me to an FMK cars. Let's bring it back up a notch.
FMK cars is a game that
too.
Ian and Dave play on the Team ClearCoat podcast. It's based on a gross game that we don't talk about with the thing that it was originally intended to talk about. We talk about it with cars, Ian. We talk about it with cars.
It's true.
And so there you go. FMK cars.
F means you drive it for a day. M means you marry as your new daily driver. K means it goes to the crusher immediately.
Absolutely.
Okay, so to celebrate, this is kind of to celebrate us getting number 1 and number 2 in Fantasy GP.
F1 in a faked online thing.
This is a feel-good FMK cars. Dave.
Okay, all right. Okay. This is the carrot, not the stick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Making you watch Formula One replays. That was the stick. This one's called "We're number 1 and I'm number 2." Okay. So in this one, we drive everywhere together.
Okay.
In formation, in whatever order you want.
Okay. In separate cars.
And there's a kicker. We finish first and second, again, whatever order you want, and we can mix it up whatever you want to do. Sure. In regular competitions. So there's going to be, all right?
We're always winning. We're just winning dudes.
Yep.
Okay.
And so all of these cars, they participated, or their manufacturers participated in famous formation finishes.
Oh, okay.
All right?
Okay.
So the first one,
the famous Lotus 1-2 kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right.
So the first one is the 1966 Ford GT40.
Yes. Okay.
At Le Mans, they famously did a formation finish, and it was controversial and blah, blah, blah.
Okay. All right.
Let's do a golf livery.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So GT40s for you and I.
Yes.
His and his
and
GT40.
Again, we drive in formation everywhere.
Awesome. Okay.
We also finish first and second in competitive yoga.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, you didn't say what the competitive thing was.
Right.
Is yoga? There's an old Dr. Katz thing about Jonathan Katz stand-up bit about competitive yoga.
I have no idea if it's a real thing or not.
He says, is it just somebody's more relaxed than you are?
Is competitive yoga a real thing?
I would imagine if a human can do it, we're going to figure out how to turn it into a competition, how to ruin it with sponsorship.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, and then how to have a resurgence grassroots campaign.
I think it's whoever says namaste more irritatingly.
Yeah, there you go.
Is who wins.
Okay, all right.
So the next,
I'm going to need to do the yoga to fit into that thing.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one is a 1977 Ford Falcon XC.
Okay. All right. 1977.
Pretty cool. Right. So these guys did a formation finish in the Bathurst 1000.
Okay.
But we're going to do the road car version. Yeah.
This guy here? Okay.
We're the one with the stripes. I don't care.
Nice. Look at that.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that's a great car.
All right.
Yeah. Wow, I really like that.
Go-kart racing.
Okay. 1-2.
We do regular go-kart racing, and we finish 1-2.
Okay. All right. Okay.
The next one is a 1991 Honda NSX.
Okay.
So this is Senna when he won the 91 Formula One World Championship.
Yep.
He slowed down so he could do a formation finish with Gerhard Berger.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And he drove for McLaren Honda.
Yeah.
So Honda NSX. So in this, we finished first and second in Fantasy Formula F1 every week.
Okay. All right. But we get NSXs.
Yes. And we drive in formation.
Oh, there's so many YouTube videos. Okay.
I don't know why Google has started doing that.
Yeah.
It's very annoying.
That's what we call dog fooding. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. So GT40 competitive yoga. So I have been in the presence of an original GT40.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that you walk away with is, I cannot believe that people did 200 miles an hour in these things, 38 inches high, and your ass is scraping on the ground.
Yep.
Yeah. That's going to be an F, and we're going to be yoga bros for
yes. I was hoping we would get to drive it for a day.
Can I add a kicker to your kicker? we have to be in period correct dress when we do the yoga. So like we're going to be sweating it out in our dapper suits and stuff like that.
Well, would be in suits because we'd need to be period correct for the type of people that would do yoga in 1966.
So we'd be naked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for a day, we're going to be yoga bros.
Yeah. For a day, we'll be yoga bros. And then man, this is really tough because do I want to finish 1-2 in every kart race I go to?
Uh-huh.
Or do I want to drive an NSX and then just have an NSX?
Right.
I think I'm going to take the NSX.
Oh.
And here's why. Because finishing first in Fantasy F1 doesn't have the same gravity as finishing first and second in a kart race.
Correct.
And I would feel bad knowing that I was going to be able to finish 1-2 in a kart race before the race even began.
Well, okay, but let's not say that, like, let's not get super meta with it and know that, like, it's an inevitability of the universe.
Okay. We just happen to know, like, we just happen to finish that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we could trade positions if you want, if that makes it more
Right.
interesting for you. Or you can always beat me, or however you want to do it.
I think I'm still going to marry the Honda NSX.
Okay.
Yeah. What would you do?
I kind of thought you would do that. I think that I would crush the NSX and marry the Falcon.
Okay.
Because
kart racing is the best.
Kart racing is the best.
And winning is also very good.
And winning is, not terrible.
Right.
And then, for a day,
Yoga Bro.
GT40.
Yeah. Yoga Bro GT40.
Yeah.
Those Venn diagrams overlap quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I like that.
Namaste, Dave.
I like that. Namaste, Ian. Wow. It's a good thing we got that recorded because I don't know if we'll ever hear you saying that ever again.
Never.
Did you just check the recorder?
I did.
On the hopes and dreams?
I did.
Yeah.
In my defense, it was ironic, so that's fine.
Ian.
Yes.
I'm
closing out all the tabs that I don't need anymore.
Okay. I have good news.
I want to hear it.
You figured out what I was doing with some money.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I have good news, Ian. I have still not been murdered by people on Craigslist.
Are you sure?
Mostly.
Great. That's awesome. Congratulations. It's a not small feat.
Yeah.
You've been splashing around a lot in the murky waters of Craigslist lately.
I live on Craigslist, man.
Oh,
if I could buy groceries on Craigslist, I would. I want
secondhand groceries on Craigslist.
I want 8 out of 12 eggs. And some questionable almond milk.
Yeah.
I drove a 1992 Nissan Pathfinder that I walked away from.
Okay.
So I'm still trying to line up some other cars to check out. A couple things have been sold out from underneath me, but that's fine. That's how it works on the old Craigslist. Whoever shows up first with cash gets it.
The list of Craig.
Yeah. But when you read a lot of Craigslist postings for cars, you see some stuff, Ian.
Mm-hmm.
I've stared into the abyss.
Oh, wow.
Of used car Craigslist.
What did you find looking back at you?
Well, in the spirit of Halloween, Ian.
Oh, all right.
I have an FMK Cars for you.
All right.
Okay, so let me see. I I forgot to send myself the links, so let me see if I can just pull them up and then just show my screen over here. So, Ian, this FMK cars is called Phantom Issues.
Okay.
All right. So, it's going to be a car with a spooky twist.
Spooky.
That's
All right.
right. Okay.
Phantom twist.
All right. First up, it's this Toyota Camry V6 LE with 118,000 miles. Okay.
Okay.
What
was spooky?
The spooky twist is that, where is it? Oh, where is it? I had it before. Yes, the transmission randomly shifts sometimes.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
That's fun.
Right? So every now and then you'll be going down the highway, and instead of fourth gear, you get third.
That would be so much better if it was a manual.
Right? Yeah, the stick just moves. Right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So transmission with the mind of its own.
And I will say it won't money shift on the highway. So like it won't
Right.
go first to fourth or from fourth
to
to
first. Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Gotcha.
Second one here. All right. Okay, this is a 1993 Chevy regular cab pick-em-up truck.
I like it.
Okay.
With some scaffolding in the back.
Diesel 4x4. Okay. All right. This
Helicopter
one.
landing pad. in the
This
back.
one has, what is this one? Come on. I should have memorized these. Ian, what is it? Yes. Every now and then, the instrument panel goes haywire.
Oh.
It has a bad ground, so gauges will sometimes read weird,
Okay.
except the tach.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Yeah. that
All
makes
right.
sense. Can you make this bigger so I can see the pictures?
Oh, yeah.
Can you just make the
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's great.
Right?
Cool.
Okay. So there you go. Yeah. And also, like, I mean, look at that rack on the back.
Yeah.
You could put, like, a couple go-karts. We could build some ramps and make some
Yeah.
go-kart racks.
I like that.
Yeah. Right? Okay. Lastly, Ian. All right? It's going to be another truckum. A Dodge 3500 diesel. Okay?
Okay.
This one, let me see if I can find it. Every now and then you get completely locked out of it or locked in it. It has a weird electrical lock problem. You can still put down the window and crawl out, but every now and then you're going to have some weird locking issues.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
That's in pretty good shape.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the transmission,
Yep. Transmission in the Camry.
gauges.
Gauges in the 93 Chevy diesel truck. 93
Yeah.
is not really the best year for a diesel engine.
Dave, this is the first time this has ever happened.
Yeah.
I'm going to crush the car.
You're going to crush the car out of
And
it,
I'm going
too.
to have two pick-em-up
trucks. Okay. All right.
I think I'm going to marry the Dodge.
Okay. It looks great.
It does, and it's already got a flatbed, so I
Yeah.
can definitely put a small race car
Absolutely. Yeah.
or just like put the children back there or
Or,
whatever.
I don't know, like an R32 would fit back there probably.
Right, a broken R32.
Right.
It could be my own towing service.
Yeah. Jenny could drive the truck and you would just be in your R32 like that season of Archer where he had the Ferrari
Yes.
just on the flatbed.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And then for a day I'm gonna drive the other truck with the landing pad on it, and I'm gonna just land drones on it.
There you go.
I'm gonna be like an aircraft carrier launching drones off
Nice.
from the highway.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
You could be in the passenger seat, like
controlling them.
Controlling
yeah,
the
doing
drones.
some aerial photography.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
photography for your personal collection.
No, Ian. Nature
Uh,
photography.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So there you go. Spooky.
I like that.
So speaking of, like, the thing that got all of this started was a real Craigslist ad
Okay.
that said, let me see if I can pull it up here. Where is it? Yes, here it is. It was for a 2003 Chevy Astro van.
Okay.
All right. And the Craigslist ad said, this is almost like a haiku. Okay. There's some poetry in people that write some of these things.
Oh,
okay?
absolutely.
All right. This one takes you on a fucking journey. So just heads up.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm excited.
All right. All online forums submit that this is a good vehicle.
This is an Astro.
This is Astro van.
Okay.
Blue Book for similar in good condition up to $3,900. It was listed for $2,000. Vehicle has been sitting for years until owner just recently passed. As is. Everything works and it runs. 2,000 firm or best offer. This is this is a dead.
It's a whole. It's a whole story.
Yeah.
It's like the Ernest Hemingway bet that he couldn't write a whole story in 6 words.
Yeah. It was like for sale.
It was for sale. Baby shoes never used.
Right. Yeah. Right. First of all, the fact that this individual said all online forums submit that this is a good vehicle, like he has bent the online forums around into his way of thinking. He has finally gotten Bernie Bob 784 on the VW Vortex forums to admit that this is a good vehicle.
Yeah.
I made that dude cry uncle.
I think he's trying to use it as in like, I submit to you, sir.
Right. A more
which
cordial.
Is also a very way far more formal than anyone on any forum has ever been.
Right. Yeah. You see some poetry in these. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to the whole fact that it's a dead person's car.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. The other thing that I found, this was a while ago, and it really stuck with me. It was a listing for a Saab 9.5 wagon. Okay? And the Saab 9.5 center dash had this weird vertical cup holder that came out.
Yeah.
Yours doesn't have it. Yours is 9.3, right?
Yeah, but I know what you're talking about.
Right. It's the weird like engineering marvel of a cup holder.
Yeah.
That like you tap and it cascades down like the opposite of a hidden bookcase in a movie.
I know. If Saab had like fired their cup holder department, like 15 years before they went under, they would have had money in the bank for another generation.
They absolutely would have. Yeah, here's the part off of eEuro parts.
Right.
$82 for this cup holder. Okay. Yeah. So it flips down and that ring rotates to hold your soda can.
So dumb.
The person that wrote the ad said, I have removed the center console cup holder because I have found it untrustworthy for beverages. You betrayed me, Saab vertical engineering cup holder.
That's amazing.
Untrustworthy for beverages. So instead of not using it, they took it out of the car.
Hey, I mean, you know what? That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad way to approach car ownership.
If you took all the untrustworthy parts out of your VW R32, you'd have wheels and a steering wheel and a big dead pedal.
Yeah, and I'd just be like, vroom, 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 sitting in the street.
Yeah. No, but the process of elimination is a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
That's the Lotus approach to reliability.
Right, exactly. You start stripping down a Saab of all its unreliable parts, and pretty soon you're left with an Ariel Atom.
And you're naked.
Yeah.
I have found my pants untrustworthy for beverages. I just picture somebody just pontificating that.
They're the same people who on the forum submit to you that
right.
the Astrovan is a good vehicle.
Right? Oh, God, I hope this guy didn't. I hope the cup holder guy wasn't the one that owned the van that passed. What if they were all in the same universe, Ian? That's how I'm going to be reading these Craigslist ads, as if they're all in the same universe.
Like they're all like sketch comedy characters.
Yeah. They were all It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia owned at some point.
I like it.
Yeah. So I still haven't been murdered. I'm still alive. I ventured into the Craigslist abyss.
And there you shall remain.
And I'm not done yet.
No.
Yeah.
Well, you still own a Vigan, so you're going to be you don't really have much choice.
I don't. I live there now. Yeah. I've taken permanent residence upon the listings of Craig.
Well, hopefully here's to you having adequate beverage storage solutions.
Yeah. Beverage storage you can believe in.
Exactly.
Yeah. What else you want to talk about, Ian?
I rented a van.
You did, and we had fun.
We did have fun. So you came over to my house a couple weeks ago because I was doing a project which has not progressed past the point where you saw it. I was redoing my patio.
Right.
And so I had to like rip out a bunch of dirt, maybe like a ton or so of dirt and old masonry and nonsense. And then the plan is to brick in around the outside, and then I had to get some rocks.
Yep.
We had to get a ton of rocks from Home Depot.
Right.
And that was not going to work with the Volkswagen. So I ended up I rented a van.
Yes. What was the make and model of the van?
It was a Ford Home Depot rental van.
Right. It wasn't was it the Transit Cargo?
It might have been, yeah.
Yeah, Transit Cargo van. Yeah.
Probably, yes.
Yep.
That looks familiar.
Yep. Okay.
It was it had seen some things before I got to it, which is something.
Yeah.
There was not a panel that was not dented.
No, it had been through a side swiping,
and
or two.
You missed the way it was parked, which was I don't know how it looked like someone had picked it up with a crane and dropped it in sideways.
Okay.
Between two cars, and like it took me. And I'm pretty good at that sort of stuff.
You're very good at that kind of stuff. I was very thoroughly impressed with your parking skills.
It took me a solid 10 minutes to get out of that parking spot.
To un-Tetris it from the situation?
Because it had been parked in by other rental vehicles.
Yeah.
And of course that's the one they give me the keys to.
Right.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah.
So I had to like un-Tetris it as you so put it.
And there was a time pressure.
Well, not at that point because
they
reset the clock when they help you load everything.
Nice, yeah,
which is good. But I had 75 minutes.
75 minutes to do these deeds.
To take my 1 ton of gravel from Home Depot to the house and unload it, and then also do an errand. And then get it back.
Right. Yeah, we dropped something off at the Goodwill.
Yeah, an old table.
Yeah. And we did it all.
And I had like 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, we knocked that out, man. Yeah. But driving around in the rental van, man, that was insane. First of all, you can get very close to the car in front of you.
Yeah, because you sit right over the front wheels.
Yeah.
It's great. And it really does, like, we've talked a lot on the show about how different cars inspire you to drive to like kind of adopt the persona.
Yes, absolutely. You adopted the contractor persona.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm a papers width away from the car in front of me at all times.
We both just had cigarettes hanging out of our mouths.
Don't know where they came from.
Yeah.
We're just surrounded by to-go wrappers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Subway sandwiches.
Yeah.
It was great. Like, you drive a big luxury car and you adopt the persona of an old man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You drive something like this, you adopt the persona of a contractor, and it just sort of happens without you thinking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I get my old man sedan. I want dinner at 4:30.
Right.
I'm not even joking.
It's amazing.
We get in that van, and the only thing that you did not adopt from a contractor persona is pulling the emergency brake as we were cruising towards a stoplight and letting the side come out a little bit. That was fun.
Yeah, I was testing it. You gotta being thorough is what you're doing there. You gotta see if you can do a handbrake turn in a rental Ford Transit, and it turns out you can.
I would only do that in a straight line. I would.
No,
there is no turning that can happen while you're doing that.
Yeah,
but one of those things unloaded. Is a hoot.
It
man.
is.
It's so lightweight and hilarious, and it we pulled onto the highway. The thing actually got up and moved.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible.
No.
I mean, it's not fast,
right?
But it wasn't awful.
Yeah.
And it did a good job.
Yeah, I hung my head out the passenger side like a Labrador.
That's true.
To see if there were any cars for you, so you could merge.
That's true. It was my blind spot detection system.
Yeah, exactly. Just your puppy, hanging out the side.
It was great.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. It was like $20.
Yeah.
And you get 75 minutes to just be an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the whole thing. Yeah. It's only $20 if you get your deeds done in 75 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the other thing to note is that, sometimes, after you've been driving for as long as we have, and you kind of forget the proper rules of the road as far as like who has right of way in certain situations.
Yeah.
There's no question with that. You always have the right of way.
Exactly.
So people take one look at that dented ass like rental cargo van with no visibility, and they're like, right, just fucking just get out of here.
Right.
Just leave me out of it. Just go.
Yeah. Maybe Vettel thought he was still in his van from the weekend.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was. He was redoing his patio.
But there's that code, like, when I park in a parking lot, sometimes I'll find another very nice car to park my Infinity next to.
Right.
There's the unspoken code: we're not going to hit each other's doors.
Right.
But when you're in that, it's like it's the exact opposite. Everybody else sees that, and like, oh, this person doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we are staying away. Yeah, and you have the right of way.
Yeah. I've honestly seen people pull out of the way with less urgency for like fire trucks.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you would have a harder time if you were a police car.
Yeah. So police officers should just drive around in dented Home Depot rental vans, because everyone would just dive out of the way immediately.
Yeah, you will cut through traffic to get to the scene of the crime.
Because that motherfucker is definitely going to hit me.
That was fun. It was fun. Yeah.
I think we should do it more often. Just, like not even for a project. Let's just like go drive around in a Home Depot rental van.
Yeah, we need a spec Home Depot rental van racing series.
Oh my God, yes.
Contact is allowed and encouraged.
It's mandatory. Yeah. Contact is mandatory.
There you go. You have to have a tap every 2 laps or something. Yeah.
Or you're disqualified.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's good. Okay, nice. I have some my eyes.
Okay.
Let's see here. I have a picture. I want to see if you noticed the same thing that I noticed when my intern took a picture of this car.
Oh, your picture intern who travels around with you and takes pictures while you're driving.
While I'm driving,
which is so handy.
This one was at a stoplight.
What are we paying this person anyway?
Not well. Yeah,
okay.
Not well. Okay, so here's a Ford Escape that I saw.
Okay.
I want to see if you noticed the same thing that I noticed with it. Okay, it's a gray Ford Escape. We're at a stoplight.
Yeah.
It has some stickers on it for some video game related things.
Oh, is that what those are?
Yeah, and maybe some anime. Yeah, and I'm not going to mention anything else. Yeah.
I mean, this dent is very intriguing. Like, how did that happen?
It is. So the thing that I noticed was the Zelda Hearts sticker, right?
Okay.
On the back window.
Yeah.
It's 2.5 hearts. It's not full health, and the car has a dent in the side of it. Right? Like, did they put the sticker on? Like, did they put the sticker on after their car had the dent, or did they put the sticker on and then the disparity corrected itself?
I wonder.
Right?
I wonder.
Right? Yeah.
I like that.
I saw that, and then I was like, oh, that sticker works on a level.
Yeah.
Right? Because why else would you have just Zelda hearts other than like, I like Zelda,
right.
Which is fine. Yeah, Zelda's a great game, Yeah, great series.
I've
But
never played it.
yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. I've just dabbled in it because my attention span is that of a caffeine-addled Cocker Spaniel. So those aren't really the games for me, but yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, I just thought that was funny.
I'm more intrigued by that dent because it clearly wasn't a post because...
Right, the taillight's all good.
Well, and the bottom isn't dented is
right.
what I'm thinking, right? So it was
yeah.
something that was either like out to the side or it was like a truck that was really high up or something.
Right.
Which is interesting.
Yeah. What if your car had a health gauge though? Right? Like that's the intriguing thing to me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And then when you take it to the mechanic, it's like a 1-up.
Yeah. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
That actually kind of brings me kind of neatly to an FMK car.
Oh, really? Okay.
Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I don't know if you know this or not, Ian. It's our goddamn show. We can do whatever we want.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right, it is. So we're going to do that. All right. So when you were doing your kart race,
Yes.
you texted me because you said you were going to do a race ahead of time.
Yes, a rental sesh.
A rental sesh.
Yeah.
And you said, I'm doing a rental heat before the race with three Subarus.
Yes.
And I said they're going to use vape smoke like a Mario Kart power-up. And then I said, hold on. Hold it. Got an idea. So this brings me to an FMK Cars.
Okay.
This is, I didn't come up with a clever title for this for some reason.
I do want to talk about the finish of that rental heat, but
Okay.
yeah, after your FMK
All
cars,
right.
yeah.
So this is car owner stereotypes as Mario Kart power-ups on the go-kart track.
Yes.
So whenever you go karting, so
Yes.
you're going to get a car,
Uh-huh.
and then whenever you go karting or participate in any sort of competitive racing,
Sure.
you get to use these power-ups.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
right.
Good.
So the first one is Subaru WRX.
Yeah.
And you may deploy a thick cloud of vape smoke once per lap.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay.
So it'll dissipate pretty quickly.
Right.
But it might be enough to startle someone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. I'm all right.
All
Okay.
right.
All right.
The next one, BMW M3.
Oh boy. Okay.
All right.
I just throw money at someone.
Close.
Okay.
For one lap, you can force all other drivers to participate in a conference call via Bluetooth headset.
Okay.
And they have
All
to participate in a call and
Right.
get through an agenda
Right.
for one lap.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay.
So, or maybe it'll just be like working through Skype issues for
There-
one lap,
there you go.
whatever it is.
Click on devices. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Can you see my screen yet?
Yeah. Can you see my screen? I'm sharing. I don't know why you can't see it.
Whose fucking dog is that?
All right. Who just flushed the toilet?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know how mute works?
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. So the last one will be a Chevy Corvette.
Okay.
For one lap, every other racer gains 40 pounds and has to listen to Jimmy Buffett.
Okay. All right. Oh man. Okay. There's hearing Buffett, then there's inflicting Buffett. It's kind of like the difference.
I mean, it's not like you're like a hostage negotiator. You're not like the FBI, like blaring it at a.
Kind of the difference between a lead and a pencil and lead and bullets.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. All right. I think I have to crush the STI.
Okay.
I think I have to kill that one.
It's I think the least effective power up.
Yeah, I do too. And also, yeah.
Okay.
One of the cars that I'm looking at on Craigslist, I'm waiting to hear some more information about, is like a 2001 Subaru Legacy wagon.
Oh, awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
With a manual.
Yeah.
And if I get it, I'm just going to plasti dip it the craziest color so I can always find it in a parking lot.
Yeah, you should do that.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
And then you need to get a sticker on the back that says, "No, I don't vape."
There you go. Now we're talking. So I think for a day, I am going to do the Chevy Corvette and the Buffett and 40 pounds.
I thought you were
That's hilarious.
I thought you were going to crush that.
Yeah, no, I want to do that for a day. I want to inflict Buffett for a day.
Well, and also 40 pounds would be like,
yeah,
that'd be a significant, a significant advantage for a lap.
Exactly. And I'm going to marry the M3.
Okay.
Because they're like, I'm on a lot of conference calls. I'm in a lot of meetings, and I don't know if I want to say this or not, but I love it when it all goes wrong.
Oh, I do too. I live for it.
I just soak in it. It's like Palmolive, and I'm just in it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a warm bath to me.
I'll say that the only thing more satisfying to me as like someone who lives in corporate culture but hates everything about it.
Right.
The only thing more satisfying than a conference call gone wrong, because that happens all the time.
Exactly.
Is just a really, really sweet, disastrous reply all storm.
Yes.
Like there's nothing better than that.
That is mwah.
And like and knowing and like picking your spot of when to get in there with just the right thing to rile everyone up is like it's such an art.
You go in after like the fourth or fifth. Please don't reply all.
Right.
That's when you strike.
Yeah, exactly. And I hate to use this reference because it highlights one of my more embarrassing pop culture things.
Okay. All right.
Because I used to, when I was 18, I liked Boondock Saints.
Sure.
You know, like every 18-year-old did when that came out.
Right.
And now I realize that's a shitty movie.
Right.
But
just like In Bruges.
But you know, I kind of like that movie.
Have you listened to the dialogue lately?
I haven't.
Yeah, don't.
Okay. Anyway, but you know when Willem Dafoe like is going to the crime scene and he puts in.
Yeah.
That's how I approach those reply all scenes.
Right.
Like
right.
I just have the opera blasting in my ears and I'm just like dancing through the crime scene and just getting ready for that perfect reply of, wait, is everyone getting this?
Nice. Mwah.
Or the best one, just unsubscribe. Just type the word unsubscribe, reply all. Oh, that's the best.
There have been a few recent ones on one of the distribution lists I'm on.
Oh, really?
For like one specific, we have some building specific distribution lists, right? Everybody in this facility needs to know, kind of thing. And then because it's cold and flu season, it's like a message went out to everybody in that building about getting flu shots. I have to get a flu shot every year. Otherwise I can't work there.
Right.
Right. And so people are chiming in. I got my flu shot at Walgreens 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah. So now I'm up to date on everybody else's HIPAA data. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yep.
I love
Right.
it. It's
Right.
the best.
Yeah. Let's see. We probably want to wrap this up.
We probably do.
We have a voicemail from Nick Lindy that I want to play.
Okay, let's do that, and then that'll be it.
Okay. All right.
Hey guys, it's Nick Lindy again.
Hi, Nick.
It's been a while.
Been a while.
I need to report something. I guess you'd call it a crisis.
Can we
driving down I-70.
I just love that in someone's mind, Nick's mind apparently, he thinks that we are some sort of authoritative entity that he feels obligated to report something to.
No.
I love that.
I don't think so. I think what he's doing is he's saying, like, he's just got to tell somebody.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I got to get this off my chest. And also, he's like OG street team.
That's true.
Right? Yeah. I think he's right?
You can kind of hear it in his voice.
Yeah,
you're right.
right?
You're right.
Right?
You're right.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm here we go. All right.
Crisis. Driving down I-70 this morning, I get passed by an F-150, okay, right? And then as it passes, it's an F-150 Raptor, cool, with a vanity plate that says RAPTAH, R-A-P-T-A-H. So dumb. Anyway, love you guys. Bye.
So thank you, Nick, for calling in. I always love it whenever he sends a picture. We always love it whenever he sends a picture or leaves us a voicemail. So I have recently become friends with a gentleman from Maine. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
My buddy PETA.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And on Instagram, his Instagram name is spelled out PETA, P-E-E-D-A-H.
Right.
And now every time I say his name, I can't help but to say PETA.
Yeah.
Like that's what plays in my head. I don't say Peter anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
PETA, right? So I kind of like the RAPTAH, like the RAPTAH. I think it's funny. I like it.
So I think this brings up a phenomenon that I've thought about talking about on the show in the past. I don't think we ever have.
Okay.
I think that getting a vanity plate, and I don't think we don't need to show the thing anymore.
Oh, sure.
I think getting a vanity plate that just says the name of your car on your car is like the equivalent of wearing the band T-shirt for the band you're going to see that night.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like an unspoken Like you
Don't
do that. That's
No.
not cool.
I didn't go to Autechra and wear the shirt. I wore an Aphex Twin shirt.
Right. And that's you can do that. Still a little uncool, but you can wear
Have we met?
Well, yeah, I know. But you can wear like a similar genre.
Absolutely.
And that the way to do that really would be to do like the opposite of that, like go to an Aphex Twin show and wear the Autechra shirt, right? Because you want to wear the more obscure band in the same genre.
Right.
That's the way to do that.
Right. Or go to Aphex Twin and wear a Gwar shirt.
Right. Right. Just be like, I've got layers, people. I'm not just about this. I know about all sorts of stuff.
I'm a complicated individual.
Yeah.
Nuanced.
But really, like if you have a Corvette and your license plate says Vet, how unimaginative and uncool is that?
That is dumb. But the fact that it makes you hear it in the accent, RAPTAH, is hilarious, and I love it.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. I don't know. If you could say vet in like, and when the person said it, it sounded like a Jimmy Buffett lick. I think it'd be funny.
I'll tell you how I would agree with you on this.
Okay, all right.
And this is the only, I'm not willing to budge on this at all.
I'm going to give you the circumstances in which will never be true, in which we would see eye to eye.
Exactly. If it said RAPTAH and the bed was filled to the brim with clam chowder, I would be with you. That would be it. Or just live lobsters just swimming around in there.
What if the license plate said Chowda?
Chowda?
Yeah. But then you're getting away from the RAPTAH.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if it had RAPTAH and then and it was filled to the brim with clam chowder.
You can't say RAPTAH. You got to say RAPTAH.
I don't do accents. You're the one who attempts accents on this show. For whatever reason.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Dave, we did a car show.
We did. I have another FMK cars, but it's a whole thing. We can't even get into it.
You're doing sleepy laughs.
I am. RAPTAH. Thanks for calling, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
Absolutely.
And thank you, everyone who stuck with us throughout whatever this was.
Yes.
We went on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster tonight.
We did.
We
did. Ian?
Yes.
If somebody likes our show, what should they do? Without the whole separate self-deprecating thing, what should they do?
TeamClearCoat.com.
Right.
It's got out the particulars and the
Yeah.
media social and the other places and the things and the places and the guys. And then subscribe on the iTunes and the YouTubes.
Definitely the YouTubes.
And
call the hotline.
That's what it was.
Call the hotline at 720-515-1391. If you see another vanity plate, give us a ringle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll argue about it, whether we like it or not.
And if you have a car and the name of the car is your vanity plate, I want to hear from you. I want to hear your rationalization for that nonsense.
I love it. I love it. Hat on a hat, buddy.
And I have an open mind about it. I'll listen.
No, he doesn't. He won't. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up.
We done did it.
We done did it.
We love you, everyone.
We love you, everybody.